Hey everybody, this is Doug Guardsman, and we're back with another video quickly updating on the progress of atomic science. So the plan is here tomorrow that this is going to actually be released as a first beta release. I'm pretty sure we're good to go. There's really only just a couple minor things that need to be tweaked and fixed and adjusted, and to be honest, if we skip a few of the polish steps, I think you guys would be pretty much okay with what the result was going to be. So some of the polish steps I'm still working on. I'm still colorizing the GUIs. I'm still working on getting energy system going. The first release, I don't think we're going to have an energy system unless I pull an all-nighter and get it finished. But what we will have is, of course, the new features, which I've been working on, is we now have tooltips. These are really simple. I got a bit more work to do on these when it comes to regard of making them easy to use. Mainly, I just want to get some tooltips over the slots themselves to explain what each slot does. Just simply say, okay, this is a fluid input slot, these are output only slots. I saw a couple of people I was showing the image of these GUIs, and they were like, wait, you have 3 slots, and they didn't quite get the fact that this is an input slot, these are output slots, and these output slots are tied specifically to the tanks, and the input slot is tied specifically to that tank. And I have a few theories of how to make this a little easier to understand. There's one theory about moving the slot up here. I would love to put some arrows on here, because arrows would be the greatest way ever. Railcraft does this with a few of his things, and it does actually make a bit of a difference. But hopefully just having the backgrounds going on and everything else will do a decent enough job to kind of help with this. Of course, what we can also do is put some arrows that point down to show that this is an output, and an arrow pointing up this input, maybe? I don't know. We'll definitely toy with it. But we got at least the backgrounds for both the fluid and the battery. I am going to put a background for the actual slot itself. There is some usability in here when it comes to kind of what can be stuck in these slots. Still working on it. I'm just in the middle of doing this. This is why you see me when I'm trying to put the buckets in here and it won't go in there, is because I'm actually in the process of currently coding item validation to make sure this actually is working the way it's supposed to working, which is apparently not working the way it's supposed to actually be working. And yeah, because these are supposed to note empty containers, but we need to stick this in here. Neither of those actually work. I bet it'll work with a fluid cell. Nope, not even a fluid cell will go in there. That is a bit strange. But we do have those, and almost all the GUIs do have colorization now. Colors do match the tool, so for the last episode people skipped it with how the tool works. The tool can change colors, and if you hold control by shift, you can actually change the mode as well. And these do correspond. Right now, fluid support's about the only thing you ever see, and the boiler's about the only one that actually has support at the moment. I have fixed some minor things with this. By default, everything was turned off and was trying to output on all sides, not quite how it should have been. Now default, the blue tank will always take inputs from all sides, and these will be turned off, so that way you don't have accidental fluids flowing on all sides. As well, the sidedness was fixed between them. There was a few minor issues where, because the water tank and the waste tank basically were the same length of field name, I had flipped the 2 of them around. There were some minor bugs in some previous versions. Those have been resolved. The build I put up on Patreon should have had those actually resolved in them. There were some minor recipe problems that have been fixed, minor input problems have been fixed, just minor little things here and there, a few MPE crashes. I definitely got to go through and test all those. I'm hoping that here Friday morning we'll get a test server up. Don't know if we'll open it to the public or not. Definitely those of you that are in Discord can ask to get into it, and I'll let you in for a while. Patreon users get a priority on that, of course. If you're one of the Patreon supporters and you ask to get in the server, I will let you in. Probably gonna even make that a perk at some point. Other changes, mainly just been usability changes here, some recipe things. I have been looking at other mods to make sure we have support. So somebody pointed this out to me, that thermal expansion actually has colored slots in here. I feel really stupid for not noticing this, but yeah, they do have colored slots in the background. Never thought about it. They have these. Ours are a little bit different. Mine are more themed towards mechanism. If you can't already tell, we have a similar red slot. Of course, neither of these were used as inspiration for these slots. These slots were just kind of picked because I used to have a mod way back in the time that had the similar slot system, and a few other things. And that's about it for an update. I feel kind of like we're used to doing longer videos here, but I think you guys might appreciate a shorter video, so I'll leave it here and come back with more updates.